Well, hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, yabba dabba do time, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Just giving us a moment for all the technology to wake up. Double checking a couple of things here. Hello, folks. My name is Rob Appell from Stitchin Heaven in lovely Quitman, Texas. It's probably 417 degrees out there right now, but I am fortunate to be standing in beautiful, sunny Morro Bay, California, where I live, and we're coming to you live today. We're going to do a little catch up. We're going to talk a little bit about sewing. I've got some incredible offers to make for you. I'm also hopefully broadcasting today on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm trying to double check. It says we're connected to YouTube and Facebook both, so feel free to put in your comments. I was watching here to see if it popped up on the good old Facebook on Stitchin Heaven. I don't see it right away, but maybe it'll be here in a second. I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep moving forward. But if you have questions or comments, like I said, feel free to put them in the feed below. I can see what's going on. I know I've got Desi out there and Carl, which is pretty dang exciting. So if you would love to let us all know where you're coming from today, put your name in there, say hello to the gang, let us know where you're coming from, maybe even let us know what kind of quilt project you're working on or sewing project, something like that. It's pretty fun. Of course, you know, as soon as the camera goes live, I start to sweat, my nose tickles, my eye goes numb, all kinds of weird things. So you'll have to deal with me today, and we're going to do a pretty short little video. I have some really good chicken I want to put on the pellet smoker, and that needs to get started pretty soon. And I got a couple other exciting things like a cup of coffee still for the rest of the day that I'm pumped up about. But I love being here. I love being here on Fridays. We do a live Friday show if it's your first time to stumble across this video. We also do recorded tutorials on Wednesday, and we do a live feed also on Facebook on Tuesdays. Coffee with Anita, which is a great way to see what's newest and greatest in the shop. She'll take you all around and stuff, so it's pretty cool. I like to do announcements to start up, get everybody warmed up. Like I said, let you know who's signing in. Okay, I see Joy's out there, and a couple other folks are coming in. Fantastic. So real quick, let's just dive right in. We finally made it, folks. Thank you so much. We are at 45 and change thousand subscribers. Please make sure you are subscribed to Stitchin Heaven's YouTube channel. It really helps everything grow, helps us all communicate. It's fun, and I like to watch that number go up really fast. So make sure you're subscribed while you're here today. If not, if you're watching this recorded, you're also welcome to subscribe. Again, we do appreciate that. If you are new to Stitchin Heaven, we do a lot of fun things. I want to encourage you to sign up for our email newsletters, our email list. That's on stitchinheaven.com. We do a daily flash sale. Okay, I'm reading a comment real quick. Please let me know if anyone else is having a lag on their feed. This is something we're testing with both streams going. Sorry about that right now, Kathy. And you may also, if you're watching and you're watching on full, like 4K on YouTube, I know you can downgrade that to like 780 and things will run faster. So at any rate, we were talking about our flash sale. We do a weekly, a daily email that goes out, and we have a bunch of great things. Here's a quick little preview. I kind of cropped the photo awkward. I apologize, but man, I got to tell you, there's a really cool binding tool here. Of course, you know, we have the rotary blades. The rotary blades, that's 45 millimeters, a 5-pack. That's a steel and a half. There's a little 6x12 ruler I love, hot iron cleaner. So there's a lot of great specials we do constantly. That's why we want to have your email address so we can send those to you as reminders all the time. One of the fun things for me on Fridays is I get the midnight special right before I go live. And what's really cool about that is today, one of my very favorite quilts, one I helped kind of design, I just changed the background colors, is 38% off today. This is our Texas Starlight quilt. This is the quilt I have hanging on the other side of the room. I apologize, I don't have a camera trained on it at the moment that I can show you, but it is a beautiful quilt designed by Tiffany Hayes, if I remember correctly. And it's just super cool. So you can get that on a discount. Eventually we'll be doing more and more tutorials on that project. Early on, this whole Friday thing started because I was free motion quilting that quilt on several different size sewing machines, so that was a lot of fun. And you can always go back and watch the recorded videos, the live videos recorded if you'd like to. We keep them up there for you. So I was pretty excited to let you know. Like I said, I didn't know it was going to happen. Boom, it popped into the feed today, and I was really pumped to get that opportunity to have that beautiful. It's the black background Texas Starlight quilt kit. It's awesome. Speaking of awesome, I got a quick little video for you. Carl, if any of you have heard me talk about Carl, if you see a redhead in this picture real quick, here he comes. Carl might be in this video. There he is. Folks, that's an Amara I'm quilting on right now. We're having a blast. We're quilting on Carl's quilt, but it's the long arm, one of the long arm quilters. It's just a fabulous, fabulous machine. I absolutely love it, right? And I want to let you know that right now, if you buy a HandiQuilter Amara, the Infinity, or any Pro Stitcher, that's the computer situation that runs the machines on the frame. You'll get a Laura Star lift iron. That's a $750 value, $749 for a free Laura Star lift iron. Now that lift iron steam system can be used like to steam curtains, steam drapes. You can use, I want to clean my shower with it if I can, but it's a wonderful system. I also have a long arm, and being able to like steam the backing as you're laying it on the long arm. This is something my friend Andrew and I were speaking of recently. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of good technique, would help us get the wrinkles out and things. So these little portable steam machines are no joke, folks. These are awesome, and we'd like to treat you to one if you pick up a HandiQuilter from us, the Amara, or I forget what the other one was, the Infinity, or any Pro Stitcher. We'll get you one of those Laura Star lift irons. That's just a really exciting package. And again, if you're using a long arm, it's great to use that lift to iron your backings as you're rolling them on, because you don't need to base with a long arm. It does it kind of for you. I don't want to be misleading. I apologize. So that's pretty cool. I keep mentioning it, but I'm super excited. All of you have been asking for retreats, so I do want to let you know that we have a couple retreats coming up from me personally. We also have several. I've got a link for the retreats page in today's description, but I've got January 23rd through 28th, and also August 7th through 11th. I'll be teaching out in Texas. It's going to be a super great time to get together, hang out in the retreat center. I'd love to have you join me. So make sure, if you are interested in any wonderful sewing and quilting event in a community spirit, make sure you check out stitchinheaven.com on their retreats page. We've got a bunch of great offerings coming up. We're constantly putting up new information as well. We also, like with our block of the months this month, so I'll show you those in a few minutes. But yeah, we've got a couple of new retreats out there. That was really exciting. Something happened this week that I thought was amazingly cool. I got to meet Seth Apter. I met him a few weeks ago when I interviewed him, but he is a mixed media artist and also now a new fabric designer for Free Spirit. We're going to have his collection called Storyboard available starting in August. We have it for pre-order, so if you watch Wednesday's video, got an hour-long interview with Seth, and he's just an amazing artist. I got really inspired a few weeks ago, and I started creating this with all of you by just gluing down strips of batik or chunks of batik. Seth was talking all about layering and layering and layering, and he really busted me straight up, because I'm real happy to stop here with about 1 or 2 or 3 layers, but he thinks that's just the base place. What he notices a lot about mixed media artists is we'll take it to a certain level, but we're afraid to push ourselves, afraid that something else may happen. But one of his major life philosophies in art is more is always more. And so at any rate, I've had a lot of fun playing with this, being inspired by Seth. I don't want to spoil the whole interview. I really want you folks to be able to enjoy it, but he was inspired in an art gallery once, and he started a wonderful relationship with an artist, and he grew from that moment. And I just really am excited to have a new individual. If you like Tim Holt's fabric, I found out in the interview live that actually Tim and Seth are friends. They have a very similar I don't want to say a similar look because it's mixed media, but on fabric, if you like Tim's stuff, you're going to love Seth's stuff as well. That's what I'm trying to say. So that was really cool. Check out that interview. I also have a short form up on Facebook. It's only 5 minutes, but I really encourage you to check out the full hour long. It's amazing. I just thought he was really terrific. I've also been working on some tutorials, folks. So let me show you this real quick. This is fun. These are the colors here of our gumballs quilts. We've got green and purple and orange, and we even have a patriotic version that's really amazing. But this is what I was working on over the last couple of days. in the sewing room here at home. That's the patriotic one you're looking at as I'm kind of scrambling through. But these are these wonderful pre-cut kits, folks. So everything in these packages are cut to the size, even to the triangles, and the corners are lobbed off so there's no dog ears or anything when you're finished sewing. So this week I've been putting together the tutorials for 2 new projects. Both of these kits will be available like I like to do. So they come as one of these, what am I trying to say? I will give one of you one of these kits per video. It's kind of a fun little contest because I've already been sewing on them and I hate to not finish off the kits, but I'd like you to do that. So anyway, gumballs is a really fun, it's a scrappy looking with some rectangle, squares, triangles, and different things. It's very simple. You make all the blocks the same, but then you rotate them on your design wall to come up with a very unique looking project. Great for practicing our free motion machine quilting on. I really like this project. This is the blue, but like I said, it came in green, purple, orange, pink, and the patriotic. And then the other one, the different opinions, the reason it got its name is because we all see different things in this block. Many of you might recognize that, or something very similar to one of the paper piece tree blocks, but it's not paper piecing. Again, these fabrics have been cut accurately so that you can build the kit without any paper piecing. Very simple. And again, I was creating the diagonal, excuse me, I'm seeing the designs there. I was creating the tutorials today for these two. It's a multicolored quilt kit, but to teach the lesson plan I made, it makes sense. I just used the same fabrics twice, but there's golds and rusts and blues and greens and all kinds of wonderful things in your quilt kit for you. So if you looking for something that's kind of that in-between project, you know, something to kind of keep your hands busy when you're working on your masterpieces, I really strongly recommend some of the kits we have available at Stitchin Heaven because they are pre-cut. I'm not having to do much paying attention to anything other than just the very simple instructions and just sewing as I'm going. And I really, really am enjoying that. And while we're talking about that, I want to give you an update to another project before we get back to the block of the months, folks. You saw, and I promised I would be making you all a rug tutorial, but what's happened is it's getting bigger. Notice I'm gonna get something off the floor here. What's happened is I wanted a project starting with the little fabric bowls, but I decided to do a fabric rug that I could work on maybe like an hour a day most days. And I didn't work on it a ton over the last week, but I worked on it a bunch the week before. I've got about 300 feet of rope already involved. I've got 200 plus foot of rope, about 250 foot of rope already covered in the rug. And I've been working, actually using my quilt boxes around the sewing machine to build a bigger table. But I'm very happy to show it's about a 40-inch circle at this point. This thing's pretty awesome looking. It's a rainbow. I've used 2 different complete fabric lines from 2 different projects I created. I'm going to set it on the table because some of you were concerned that it was going to cup and bow, but the only reason it's doing that right now is because I had it laying on the floor and it didn't quite fit. I've still got my rope, I've still got my fabric, and I just found, because I kept looking through my stash, look folks, I found all of the leftovers from the tutorial when I was doing this one here. So these fabrics are a little bit brighter, but I'm going to integrate them in, and now I have a spot for this upstairs in this garden area I'm building in my home. So I want it to finish green on the edges. So I'll go all the way out to this bright limey green, and then I'll start bringing the colors from that bright green back through to a deeper and finished out kind of on a darker forest green of sorts, Kelly green, something like that. So I've just been working the rainbow as I go. Some of the things I wanted to make sure I could do was come back to this over and over again. Like I said, I wanted a project that was ongoing and I could just play with it a little bit. It's a scrap style project for a lot of us when we're adding up. These could have been leftover binding strips because they were cut at 2.5 inches. So something like this is really great, but now I'm wanting the rug to be massive so that when I do the tutorial, I can really show us all what we can do with this. So I apologize, the tutorial isn't finished. I've been working on it. I accidentally deleted a bunch of the footage I had captured. You know how it goes. It was a Monday. This week actually had a Monday in it for me, but we're moving right along and it's Friday now. The weekend's in front of us, so we're looking pretty good and I'm pretty dang excited about this one, folks. This is a really cool project. Okay, let me jump in real quick. Also, I want to let you know I I told everybody, I think it was last week, but we have a big deal special going on right now. So the HandiQuilter thing was for the entire month of August. And right now I'm going to put up this code right here. You can see EMBOM will get you a $1 registration on our block of the months. I showed these in detail last week, so I'm just going to kind of blast through them pretty quick. There's Arabella. Oh, and by the way, folks, all of our block of the months have Facebook groups that come along with them as well. That's the Schoolgirl Sampler. We have the Farm Girl Vintage. So lots of different styles. This one's Into the Woods. Into the Woods comes as a laser cut fusible, so that's raw edge version. Or you can order in your traditional needle turn applique where you'll need to trace and cut your pieces yourself that way. Pretty cool. We've got Patch Pals on Parade, a really bright, fun, kind of panel-esque looking, but you're making some fun appliques and some cute little animals there. We've got the Vintage Valentine. This is a really beautiful, elegant block of the month, especially for those of you like your kind of vintage looking stuff. Tavertina is another gorgeous, it almost looks like it's solids, but they're textures. The quilting in this one's incredible. Very simple project and fun. Lots of negative space for you machine quilters out there. So I would encourage you to get involved in something like that. Check it out. Here's a close-up of the rug. Well, I've got all these other cameras going. I might as well take advantage of them, right? Isn't that cool the way that turned out? It's looking pretty great as well. I'm pretty jazzed about all that's going on in the studio, and it's been a pretty exciting week, like I said, working on all of the tutorials. I don't know if you can see it on my face. I'm a little tired and maybe even sunburned from all of the lights that are going on in here as well, but we've been having a great time. I do want to take a minute real quick. I see Michelle's here. She's late, but she's catching the live. I want to just interact with all of you a little bit, and I just want to make sure I'm getting all your questions answered. So if anybody has a question for me today, feel free to put it in. I see, so Terry saw the interview and enjoyed it. The lagging seems to be resolved. Wonderful. Looks like there's a lag. Ooh, interesting. If I'm understanding the color coding to the comments, it looks like it's lagging worse on Facebook than it is on YouTube. We really enjoy our communities in both locations, and so we try to reach you all at the same time, but you know, with technology, sometimes it is easier. So for the longest time, I've just been doing YouTube only. We wanted to see how this goes. I'll probably try it for another week or two, but will you please help me learn what looks best on the other end of the world? So if you're enjoying this on YouTube or Facebook, will you let me know? Because it's very hard. I can't monitor it live and present at the same time. I can only keep up with the questions, but as I'm going down here, I can see that it is not only 104 degrees in Oklahoma, but it is also 80 degrees in Maryland, it looks like, and the lag seems to be mostly on Facebook. I apologize, but we'll just blame Mark Zuckerberg because he should be blamed for something every now and again. I don't know. I'm just trying to be silly. Hey, Gable's out there. Gable, you're on Facebook, it looks like. Let me know if it's still lagging. Joy and Stitches, you're absolutely right. Tavertina is amazing. Carl, the rug is all over our color palette, right? Rainbow is definitely our favorite colors. This is going to be awesome. I'm actually a little nervous, folks, of what's going to happen once I transition into a solid color. But if you kind of notice, as you work with whatever reads on the edge, kind of the rug starts to read that color anyway. So I think if I can get enough green really packed out on the edges, it'll look pretty terrific. And it's funny, I just realized I caught myself. I'm already starting to use some terms that I'm learning from the new world of art. I just caught myself with. And so let's finish with this today. I'm still monitoring the comments, but I have something else fun to share with you. I like to share a little family something or another. My whole family was pretty much out of town this week. My son is still traveling himself through the Pacific Northwest. Hopefully he's safe up in the Seattle area. So if you see a real tall kid and a nice looking gal wandering around in my old truck, wave at them, their family. And my daughter was gone at her cousin's house for several days, and she's been working a lot as she prepares for her big adventure. You know, she's our youngest, but she leaves for her first year in college. She'll be going to Portland University of Portland, North Portland, and we're taking her up in a few weeks, and I'm getting really anxious about that. I want to say excited, but at this point I'm just nervous, just not quite sure how I really feel about having my little girl go away. But she's a strong young lady. She's going to do wonderful. And as long as her mother and I do not fall apart too much, I think we'll all make it. Pretty cool. Had a fun experience last night, so I'll show you this real quick. Many of you hopefully know that I have learned to tattoo in this last year. So I had a gal walk in, called for a quick little what we call a walk-in tattoo, and that's where I was talking about packing color. She had a wonderful experience with some ladybugs about 30 years ago and had been dying for a ladybug tattoo. Pretty fun. This gal, it was, like I said, very happy to get the tattoo, but for me it was really fun. She will be celebrating her 80th birthday, and a lot of folks are concerned about mature skin being tattooed, and I've done a couple on mature skin like that, and I've done very well with them. We just take it light and easy, and so we just had a great time, and I'm really enjoying learning this new art form. What I didn't realize yesterday, my mentor artist has explained to me as we celebrated over a bottle of sparkling apple cider that he brought to me, is that now I have actually reached the realm of professional tattoo artist, because I was able to have a client walk in out of the blue, choose a design. I drew the design, tattooed the design, followed up with her today, and she's incredibly happy. And that's different than tattooing friends and family as you're practicing. This was kind of a just out of the blue experience, and boy was it wonderful. And I think quilting and tattooing are a lot the same in that way, where anytime where you're sharing art, I think that's partly why I was so blessed to speak with Seth about sharing art and art experiences. We love doing these things, and art touches our emotions so deeply that it's different than just kind of, you know, hanging out and chatting with somebody. Having a true art experience with somebody, especially something as permanent as tattooing, or maybe as incredibly thoughtful as receiving a quilt from somebody that has given you a quilt. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And so, you know, if you're feeling overjoyed with art experiences, hey, welcome to the club. As a recovering alcoholic, I constantly am trying to remind myself to live in the present, not living in regret, not living in worry, but just living in the present. And by being emotionally connected to art and allowing myself to enjoy the experiences and the interactions with the art and the people involved in creating the art, it's really incredible. And folks, this is why I love quilt making so much, is because all of you out there all have a wonderful, wonderful part in this community. We are all parts of the branches, or all parts of the big vine that grow together and make this quilting world incredible. So I appreciate you being here today. Let me go ahead and make sure I don't have any questions I should be answering before I sign off. Looking like it's about time to wrap it up today, folks. Oh, we have South Africa. It's freezing cold in the winter there in Johannesburg, South Africa. Well, one of these days, hopefully I'll get over there to surf Jeffreys Bay. I think that'd be pretty incredible if you ask me. I know the surfers out there are amazing. So at any rate, folks, again, just thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting us all at Stitchin Heaven. Please make sure you're signed up for the email. Make sure you're signed up for our YouTube channel. Oh, I forgot to invite you. I'm so sorry. We also have a Facebook group, So Well Rob Appell. You can sign up for that. I'll let you in the magic door, and you can enjoy just being part of the community. It's a really great place for you to share your photos with me directly of things you've been working on. I try to pay good attention to what's going on there in case maybe you have questions as well. If you ever need to get a hold of me directly, I think I have it somewhere here. I'll put it on the screen. rob@stitchinheaven.com is my direct email. Like I said, I've got a couple of fabulous tutorials coming at you over the next few weeks. I will be around next Friday as well with another live video. So until then, folks, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, and stay